The iris. In this video, we want to talk about what is the iris of our eye, what is the pupil of the eye, or what is the stop of our optical system. So the iris, we should be very careful about using iris and pupil. The iris is the actual aperture stop of our optical system, of our eye, which is this area that, you can make, it's like a diaphragm, like, the optical diaphragm that we can buy it out of the shelf. You can change the size. And the aperture or the opening, that part, we usually call it pupil. So the diameter of this one, we call it pupil, and this one is the iris of our eye that we can change the size. So the pupil size, how we can change the size of the pupil, it depends on a lot of parameters. One of them is the intensity of the light, using drug, age, a lot of things. But how is the process of changing the diameter of the iris of our eye that cause change of diameter of the pupil? So there is a kind of muscle system in our body that we call it antagonistic muscles. So that kind of muscles, there are those two muscles that are acting in opposite direction or acting in opposite of each other. The action is in opposite of the other one. When one of them is relaxed, the other one is contracted. When the other one is contracted, the other one is relaxed. So for example, look at our hands. When the triceps is relaxed, the biceps is contracted and we can move our hand like this. When the triceps is contracted, the biceps is relaxed. So these two kinds of muscles are working like this. You cannot have that kind of situation that both of them are contracted. You're going to put too much pressure on yourself. So, and we have another kind of mechanism in our body that we call it autonomic reflex control. This kind of process in our body is a kind of regulation or function that typically is a kind of involuntary process, like, breathing, heart rate, digestion. A lot of things in our body is like this. And the one that we're going to talk about it, changing the size of the pupil is another kind of autonomic control system in our body. So now let's look at it, how it's working actually, how we can change the size of our pupil. So now let's see how we can change the size of our pupil. We have two kinds of muscle. A sphincter pupil, that one is this muscle, that is a smooth muscle forming like a ring around our pupillary margin, which is here. So that's a kind of a smooth muscle, like a circular shape around our stop or our pupil of our eye. And then we have another kind of muscle that we call it dilator pupil. That one is muscles which are in this direction, is radially from that center. So when our eye is in contraction, this muscle that we talked about it, that one is contracted, and the other muscle, dilator, is on relaxed form. So like, our hands, the other muscle is on relaxed form, and the first one is contracted, so the pupil gets smaller. And then on regular shape, and when we are in regular situation, this one is, both of them are relaxed. And then during dilation that, we make our pupil very big, this muscle, sphincter pupil, that one is relaxed, and dilation muscle or dilator pupil, that one get bigger or contracted, that cause our eye get bigger. So you cannot have a situation that both of them are contracted because we have two opposite force against each other. So that's the process that, by just contracting two muscles, we can make our pupil smaller and bigger. And as I said, this is not something that we control it. Our brain is controlled this kind of process automatically, that, we're going to talk about the intensity of light, how our brain react to the intensity of light in next videos. The other concept that you can see at the first, when you see somebody, is the color of eye. All color of eye comes from the color of iris, because the pupil is black, inside of the eye is black. The only difference is the color of the pupil. The pupil, if it is lightly pigmented, the pigmentation is low, then the color usually goes to blue colors, that kind of colors. When the pigmentation in the iris is high, then the colors goes closer to brown or black. So that's another concept that is just related, doesn't have any effect on actually on visual system or optical system, but the color comes from the pigmentation on iris. So here are some references that I used for this video. Thank you very much.